global audience. So far, the results we are getting so far have been amazing. Our last meeting had a total, okay, one of our videos had 151K views. Then another one had 14K views. 14K views. That's a total of how many? That's a total of how many? That's a total of 165K views. So now, in comparison with the people that are seated here physically, it's getting more traction and more reach than we can anticipate. Are you here? So our plan is going the way we planned it. Everything is going the way we planned it. Are we together? So starting for today's edition, I would also like to admonish and encourage, when the materials are made available and they are made ready, it is our primary responsibility to do what? To circulate, post, share. And most of the time, I've also realized that people request for a link to the full video. Make sure they get access to the to the full videos. Our videos on YouTube across board have hit over 100 views. So we're getting somewhere. Are we together? So recapping from last meeting we discussed habits that kill businesses. Okay, are we ready? Let me have the link, please. The link to this meeting. Okay. Not seen it yet. Okay. So this same one, Abi? This same one, Abi? Yes. Okay. I've sent the link. So let's do the needful. Are we ready for today? So last week we took our time to discuss habits that make businesses fail, or habits that kill businesses, and we took our time to discuss them individually. So I'm going to just pick up a few, or I'm going to re-emphasize on some ones that I missed that particular day. Call that lady to come back. Just leave her. So number one, or one of the reasons, or one of the points I missed that day, is being rude to clients and to staff. You have to learn how to talk. Now, the bad thing about habits is that habit you exhibit in your secret, you wouldn't know when you do it in public. A disrespectful person in private, he will be disrespectful in public. Are you here? Are you here? So you wouldn't know when you exhibit that same habit that you've done privately. You wouldn't know when you do it publicly. So that's one of the bad things of habits. You not being friendly. In a business place, you cannot afford to be frowning at all the time. You can't afford to be frowning out all the time. There's something smiling does to your clientele or your customer. There's something smiling does to them. You cannot be looking all serious all the time. You cannot be frowning all the time. It chases people away. Are we here? Are you here? And this one is, most business people are victim or are guilty of this. Owing people around you, either your staff, people that give you supplies, or your other vendors. People don't trust you with resources, or people don't trust that when you say you pay back later or you pay them later, they find it difficult trusting you. As a business person, one of the things you need to have, or one of your capitals as a business person, is what we call integrity. In the sense that there are certain supplies you will do or you will get, you will have to pay the person later. It could be based on company policy. It could be based on the fact that there was no resources at the hand. Company policies, in the sense that there are certain companies that they don't pay you immediately when you work for them. We call it capital. You execute a job or you execute a contract, then when they are done, you now pay them. There are companies that have such policies. So if your company is one of the companies that have such policies, you cannot but learn how to pay people. If you've developed a habit or a culture of not paying people, it's going to affect your business. It's going to affect you. Are we here? Are we here? So for us to take, for you to know or have the full gist of what we discussed last week, you have to go to our videos online on our YouTube to get it together. Are we here? So last week when we started, I made mention of the fact that there is a tax law coming in come January. So today we're going to be talking about taxation. There are certain things that you cannot, media, please get ready of the things that we're supposed to play. As a business person, there are certain things you cannot ignore. As a business person, there are certain things you cannot be ignorant of. There are certain things you must pay attention to them. One of which is this thing called taxing we're talking about. One of the things that is making it important is that in this part of the world, the taxing system has not really been taken seriously so far. The only set of people that really do this taxing thing or pay their taxes are the corporate organizations. But individual, personal people don't really do it. So it will come like a cultural shock to a lot of people next year. So we're going to be taking our time to discuss that for today. But before we go into that, there are certain videos or there are certain materials we're going to be playing online. There are certain materials we're going to be playing. So the first material we're going to be listening to is how revenue is distributed across board and how revenue is generated across board in our nation. Our case study is Nigeria precisely. For every year, you hear the government talking about budget. A particular kind of funds, particular type of funds are located to handle certain projects or certain things the government want to do. So the question now is, how does the government raise that money? And how is it being shared? If you're a business person, you need to understand this concept. How the resources are raised and how it's being shared. Are you with me? So the first material we're going to be listening to, media. The first material we're going to be listening to or watching, I need you to pay attention. Media.
Hello, Nigeria governors. They don't announce their old tax formula.
I know now, but you can put it on the screen. Just pause.
Hello, Nigeria governors.
And we have to make sure the online people are also watching. It's possible, right? So I need you to pay attention to it because this is one of the vital things we're discussing today. Play.
They don't announce their old tax formula where they want to. If you don't know where the matter day before me cut. Hello, Nigeria governors. They don't announce their old tax formula where they want to. If you don't know where the matter day before me can tell you. No say before, if state get money, they go remit am. Say these are the states, all of them. They go remit am to the center. That is federal. When they remit, they go miss and. It's like they put money for inside there. Inside pot. They'll call miss and. They'll call you this formula, share. Whether here you bring 100 billion, say River State, Imo State say they bring 20 billion. Say this one, Edo State bring, say 25 billion. Say Bauchi bring 10 billion. Say Kaduna bring 15 billion. Say Zamfara bring 5 billion. And they bring us so. When they don't miss the money, they don't care how much you bring. Now this formula, they go take share. Now the formula, now be the bone of contention, the main bone of contention. Which formula would they use currently? 20% on derivation. Out of everything what they bring, they go remove 20%. Keep part to one pot. They will bring 50% out. Put that for another pot. They will come bring 30%. Okay? Put that for another pot. So this one now they go share as per derivation. If they want share now who bring pass and percentage go add for this 20%. Get the point now. So it means say here now you go benefit more if you bring plenty. But now 20% they just put for there now. Get the point now. That's why if you check internet, see where Asari Dokubo, the vibrate say River State will remit billions to federal. They can't give a change because say now the 20% now they go really benefit. For this 50% is based on equality. They go share am normal. Everybody equality. This one 30% on population. As una plenty, people wey plenty pass, where their population plenty, and then they benefit. You see say the factor wey they take share am now only this one 9% wey really bring money go even get mouth. But wetin they allocate for that one? People wey go enjoy am na real people wey be say they get population because this one na equal for the share. 9 President Tinubu call form people, bring them together, say una be expert for tax matter. Change this formula because this one is communistic. That is communism. Communism. What they practice for them be say, make we live happily together. Whether you work plenty, you no work, you tired, you lazy, make we bring the money, make we share. This is not federal. This is like communism. Nine. President Tinubu come bring you say, see this one when they pay for derivation na 60%. So if you work, you make money for your state, you go enjoy. No be say babu dey work, monkey dey chop. Then 20% on equality instead of 50%. Equal, no problem. Equality. Then 20% based on population. So they come move 10% from here and 30% from here, put am for here. 9, the governors say, especially the northern governors, and they did book as no. Today, they don't announce their formula. All the governors are seeing from Vanguard. Now this one they call proposed now. The one where they propose now, 30% based on derivation. The one where they use now 20%. Abi? The one where President Tinubu propose now 60 for derivation. But the one where governors say okay. Since they pay on now what are they generating the money? Say we don't get much. Okay, no problem. We'll come up 10% from here because this is the correct one. Come up 10% from here, give the derivation. You will generate the money. Okay? Then this 50% on equality. No touch. This one still dey more communistic. Not capitalistic. Like this one we say is capitalistic. As you make money, and so you go chop. The one where I was suggest, because me I no be governor, I no be president, I be neutral person, citizen. We say we elect people, make them represent us. Make us suggest one.
Do you understand what he just said? Do you understand? Now there is already a sharing. We all know that the people in charge of revenue collection is the tax. The federal inland revenue, they are the one that collect the taxes of the federation nationwide. Are we together? So now, when everything is collected, let's assume this is Lagos State. Let's assume this is Delta State. Let's assume this is Kano. Let's assume this is Benue, and this is Nasarawa. So everybody, I am the tax master now, or I am federal government. Lagos State brings 20 billion or 100 billion. Benue State brings 1 billion. And Nasarawa State brings 2 or 3 billion. Who brought more? Lagos State, which is what? 100 billion. We now put everything together. So the fair sharing formula is the... Ngozi, let's have the video back. That particular place you post.
That. This bus stop. This is the best formula.
No, rewind back a bit. Go back a bit.
This 50% on equality. No touch.
Just do it in such a way that the man's head is not showing. Let me use the Just go back
this
a bit.
One still dey more.
Just go back a bit. Okay, just stay like that. So the current sharing formula is this one here. 20% based on derivation. Derivation is your contribution to the tax force. Every state. Now remember, Lagos State is bringing 200 billion. Benue State is bringing only 2 billion. Nasarawa State is bringing 1 billion. And Kano is bringing 500 million. So now everything put together, 20% of that money will be used for derivation, or 20% of that money will be given to you based on derivation, based on what you brought. 50% will be shared equally amongst everybody. Then 30% will be shared based on your population in your state. Are you hearing? Now, there is a big problem with this sharing formula. Why? The Lagos guy that brought 100 billion will feel cheated Because he brought 100 billion, and the place where he's supposed to aim more, which is the deviation, is just 20%. Are you getting the point? So the president, the current president now said no. This present revenue sharing should be changed. The formula should be changed. Just play a bit.
Not
So let him just shift from the middle one.
Is capitalistic.
Boss
As
now.
you make money, and so you go chop am. The one where I also suggest, because me I no be governor, I no be president, I be neutral person, citizen. No be say we elect people make them represent us. Make us suggest one so that this bad go stop.
Rewind.
This is the best formula.
Rewind. Go back. Rewind. Go back. Thank you. Pause. It's okay. So the president is proposing the one in red. 60% based on derivation, which is based on your contribution to the tax revenue purse. That is what the president is proposing. Then 20% will be based on equality. Everybody will take 20% of everything. Then the third one, 30% based on population. That is where the governors are fighting. Why are they fighting it? The people in the north, their states don't generate much revenue. However, they have more in population. So the question you ask yourself is, who designed this thing in the first place? Is my hanky with you? Who designed? Go back. Okay. Who designed that first formula in the first place? So the governors right now are fighting. They are fighting the president, and the guy has a strong will. He is insisting that they must go with him. If they don't do it that way, a lot of states will remain dormant. Are you hearing me? Now
This is the percent on equality.
Thank you. So you are claiming that 20% based on equality and 20% based on population. You are claiming that you have population. So use your population to generate revenue, not you using your population during an election. There's a place for population. When it comes to politics, number is power. The person with the highest number in politics wins the election. So the Northerners are using the number to their advantage. However, the present president right now is kicking against that formula. That is the reason why most times you discover that. That's the reason why, are we here? That's the reason why most times you discover that the northern states don't do much, or they don't generate much revenue, but they are comfortable because they are benefiting from the federal purse. Are you here? Are you here? Are you with me? So now, in as much as I don't like the entire tax reform that is going to happen, which will take time to explain, this is the part I like, because it keeps everybody working. You cannot say a particular state should generate more and at the same time punish him for generating more. How are you punishing for generating more? You are taking his revenue that is generated to give to other states. Meanwhile, he is suffering. And we're in the same country. Are you together? Are we here? Play the next one.
No,
the next
this
one
one today more communistic.
So come 2026, there are tax reforms. So we're going to be explaining or showing you ways how it's going to affect each and every person that is part of the nation. Play.
The new tax policy as it affects the individual. Now, I am focusing on the individual because for companies, they have people, experts that they employ where they help them calculate tax. Now, for the individual, whether you understand the law or not, it applies to you. And the law na English they write. So if you can read and write, you should be able to read the law and understand the tax policy. Just like every other law, ignorance to the law is not an excuse. What is the tax rate? The new tax rate is between 15 to 25%. The first video I post on this tax, I talk say everybody starting January 1st go they pay on the average 20% from their income as taxes. Some of these Asiwaju boys go they abuse me, they go they throw Tunde, but Tunde not posted this video. But look at it. 15 plus 25 is 40. If you divide 40 by 2, which is the average, it will give you 20. It means the average man in Nigeria will pay around 20% in taxes. It's that simple. But them now be like say that they stay for alternate reality, so they really get the thing down where me and you will fit understand. What is the eligibility to pay this tax? Anyone who earns income greater than 800,000 naira a year, which is equivalent to 67,000 naira a month, or about 2,300 naira a day. If you dey this category, once your money don't pass this level, you must pay tax according to law. Which tools they go use to assess the tax? Before, since now mostly formal people they collect taxes from, those where they work for the formal sector, where they work for bank, where they work for school, where they work for hospital, where they work for somewhere where government will verify. The tools where they use to assess them, now the company go assess them, then tell government say see this person tax. So now the tools where they go use for assessment, now your BVN, your NIN, your tax identification number, your bank account. So now there's no place to hide. This one I be the tool where they use to expand the tax net. Before, so many people know they pay. Now they don't expand the tax net by not relying on your workplace. They can use these tools now to assess you to know if you qualify to pay taxes or not. What is the implication for the common man? Common man in this context, I mean those who work in the non-formal sector. Barber, electrician, hairdresser, Okada man, keke driver, POS operator, pure water seller, bricklayer, name it. What is the implication? You have suddenly moved from no tax to tax. Before you know they pay. That is the truth. You know they pay. Let me really look at my keke man, for example. Before they go waka come and pay tax, the only thing we go pay now those their union dues for pack. Or local government will come say, come give us money, all those things. Now it is formalized. You go pay tax to the government of the country. So you have moved from no tax to tax. Now, because people don't understand this thing, they are going to have criminal liabilities which comes from tax evasion. Now, this one, I see what you boys they teach people online. If you don't want to pay tax, just go set up company, put all your money for the company, pay your salary. This is tax evasion. People do it, but it is a criminal act. It's called tax evasion. The third implication for the common man, you have little to no benefit from government, yet they want to tax you. For my area now, transformers spoil. They don't approach all of us say, they couldn't contribute to buy the transformer. We don't contribute, we are going to buy a new transformer. Government, they don't intervene. Nobody is intervening. Local government don't intervene. State government don't intervene. Nobody is intervening. The roads for area bad. For Benin now, all the roads, most of the roads are bad. You are going to also now tax people. Having not gotten any benefit from government, and yet they are going to be taxed. Next thing is, you are now going to be taxing proceeds of crime and immorality. As a man, Yahoo boy, hookup girl, now here all of them enter. Because as a hookup girl, you go need to go explain to government through your bank account by next year how 6 million they enter your account, and you say you know they work. And now you go take explain to government say, this money will enter my account. I run cost. What is your cost? Nobody. You want to explain to government say they buy lubricant from inside this money will enter your account. That one is now up to you. Now you can go explain to government say this income no be tax. In fact, this new tax law, it is easier for the government to convince you that you are taxable than for you to convince the government that you are not taxable. So you will be as a man, 600 million I don't pass through your account. They come you to not get fat, you not get anything. You go explain to government why you don't pay tax on that 600 million. We do not support crime, we do not encourage immorality. But anybody who is pretending that Yahoo boys know their society is living in a fool's paradise. Anybody who is pretending that we don't have, for economic reasons, I don't blame anybody, I don't judge anybody. For economic reasons, I know the person is living in a fool's paradise. Now, do I support the new tax law? Capital, no. Why? Government, state, federal, and local must first show working with what they have. And what do they have presently? They have fuel subsidy. They newly removed fuel subsidy. What you not do? As we speak now, they are already collecting tax. What you not do? The one that they collect now. Even the president come and boast recently say they are making more money than they need. Thirdly, there is oil money. We are the poorest oil producing country in the world. We are the only oil producing country that has the poorest people in the world. 130 million Nigerians are multidimensionally poor. Natural minerals like gold, iron ore, limestone, people are mining them in the north, taking the money away in billions. The government will first of all close that loophole before they can now come and tax the common man. Chief Laolu na landlord for Lagos. Laolu get 4 flats for Igondo. He gets 2 flats for Ikeja. He gets 6 flats for Lekki. I hear say na him be the landlord of Auntie for Lekki. For the Igondo flat, Chief Laolu dey charge 1 million multiplied by the 4 flat wey get for Igondo, which gives us 4 million a year. For the flat wey Chief Laolu get for Ikeja, he dey charge 4 million per flat multiplied by the 2 flat wey get for Ikeja, which gives us 8 million. Chief Laolu dey collect from Aunty for Lekki and 5 other tenants 7 million for their flat per flat. Chief Laolu dey get 42 million from him flat wey dey Lekki. The total where Chief Laolu dey get a year from him rent na 54 million. Big man. I even hear say Chief Laolu na the world chairman for the ruling party for that place. Now Chief Laolu go pay tax. First, the government go deduct from source wetin dem dey call 10% withholding tax. So for this 54 million, 5.4 million go first enter government hand. Next, Chief Laolu go pay personal income tax because rent na income. And Chief Laolu go pay 9,688,000 for my own calculation using the graded tax method wey I don explain for previous class. If you no understand how I write this figure, go to the previous class. Now because Chief Laolu dey Lagos, he go pay land use charge. But our father for Abuja no dey vex for Laolu, so he say no more value added tax on rent. Now Chief Laolu don dey para. He say no. Wetin dey do for Nigeria? He wan sell all this in flat, carry himself, carry him family, go Canada. But Chief Laolu, if you sell all your flat, you go pay wetin dey call capital gains tax. Now the simple question wey I get for Chief Laolu na, you go vote for the next election, abi you no go vote? Forward this video to your landlord and put the answer to that question for the comment section.
Aunty for Lekki, they charge 100k per man. And they charge 100k per man from 10 men a month. Aunty for Lekki, they make 1 million a month. And if you multiply that 1 million a month by 12, which is the 12 months where they 1 year, Aunty for Lekki, they make 12 million a year. What is your tax? We go do the deductions. Aunty for Lekki, you go explain to government the costs where you dey run. I know they involve in your business. I know the cost where they run. No. So you go show receipt of loops, you go show receipt of CD, you go show receipt of every other thing where you think say they facilitate your income. Because take note. The only thing where they deductible as your cost now waiting they facilitate your income. So you go club, no consign government. You pay transport, no consign government. You dey chop nutritious food, no consign government. You dey pay for gym subscription, no consign government. That one are your business. But until the government not just hate you like that. They say they will give you rent relief, and because your rent now 2.5 million in a year, they will give you 20% rent relief, which is they no go charge you tax on top 20% of your rent, which is 500,000. Abi? Now what you call remain until Lekki? Now 11.5 million. What is your tax on 11.5 million? Your first 800k from that 11.5 million. Government say na tax free. The next 2.2 million, government will charge you 15%. 15% of 2.2 million, now 330,000 naira. And then if you remove these two, which is 3 million from 11.5, what you remain at 8.5, and that 8.5, now 18% they will charge you. That 18% will be 1,530,000 naira. So until Lekki, your total tax now 1,860,000. No, go increase this price. Oh, say we don't pay tax that. I need to increase. If you increase this price, your tax will also increase. So imagine say person go use a condote hustle. Now submit 1,860,000 to government at the end of the year. I think for Lekki, simple question for you. You go vote for the next election, and you no go vote because you tell me say you know the vote, say you no like to vote. So my question for you at the end of this lecture, you go vote for the next election, and you no go vote.
You be boat driver. We assume say you be hardworking person. So on a daily, at all on a daily, after you don't do everything, you go take 20,000 naira per day go house. This 20,000 naira per day is what we call your gross. And because you be very hardworking person, you want to feed your family. You dey work for 25 days in a month. If we calculate your 20,000 and multiply by 25 days, you dey work. it will give us 500,000 a month. If we multiply that 500,000 a month by 12 months, it will give us 6 million naira a year. So if from January 1st, 2026 to December 31st, 2026, you make 6 million, this calculation is for you. Now, I call them assumption, meaning these numbers can be higher or lower. They go do some deductions for you. We go comot 2.5 million for this 6 million. I call them tax-free income cost. Why I call them income cost? Because this is your work, so you dey buy fuel. You dey buy CNG, depending on the one wey you use. You dey buy tire, if your tire spoil. You dey repair the motor. But for this 2.5 million, you must go with proof. Proof. You must go with proof to show the tax man. Tax man, so inside the 6 million, I use 2.5 million to maintain my vehicle. I buy tire 25,000 with receipt. You know, just your man go talk say I buy tire. I buy CNG. Anytime you buy fuel now, take this information from anytime you buy fuel now, collect receipt. But I want to assume say you are able to prove to the tax man, because you are working on assumption. You are able to prove to the tax man say now 2.5 million. Now you can maintain your vehicle for 1 year, January 1st to December 31st. Now, inside that tax law too, they say only 20% of your rent tax free. What if that man mean say your rent now 1 million? You go fit, they will remove 200,000 from your potential tax. Yes. I don't know that. I don't explain that fast like that. Understand that like that. But here, now me say, you know that I be good man. So we remove 300,000, which is 1.5 million. I don't know why you will work 6 million, work still 1.5 million. But let's just assume, say 300,000. Now, if we remove these deductions, 3.5 million, add them to 300,000, right? Come 2.8 million. If we remove them from your original 6 million, it will give us 3.2 million. Now, this 3.2 million, now we want tax now. Now, keep in mind, this 3.2 million, now there your children's school fees dey. Na there money for beer dey. Na there money for ese asun. Na there dey. Money for your wife. Na there dey. Money for your girlfriend. Na there dey. Money for your side chick. I want you for that side chick matter. You know here. Na there dey. But now here, before you satisfy all those other people, you must give government their own. So we will calculate government too. Now starting January. First, the first 800K for this 3.2 million, they call am tax free. Tinubu is happy today. So that's tax free. Tax bill from hell. Tax free. Now, the next 2.2 million, they go charge you 15%, which is 330,000 naira. Yeah. I don't declare. Now, the last 200K, now 18% they will charge, which is 36,000. So your total tax, when you will pay for 3.2 million, after you don't run your initial cost, will be 366,000 naira no kobo. If you say, how they want to know, my brother, that your OPay, that your PAMPay, that your UDA, where they put money for you, your Azaza. Government will look, they charge you the next tax.
Hallelujah. So now, if in those days in school, you say you didn't like mathematics, it no concern you. Now mathematics go do it go concern you. Because by the time you make that kind of money and pay that kind of money in taxes, you want to know where each and every penny is coming from. Are you here? Now, added to all this is the support charge, which I told you of last month, where you are being taxed on fuel. Are you here? So now, what is taxation? I played all those materials for you so that you can know the importance of how serious what we're talking about is. Are you with me? When I was coming, the Spirit of God ministered something to me. In school, you wrote exams or you read to impress your teacher, Abi, or to pass. In this class, if you want, take it serious. If you want, don't take it serious. Or in life, if you want, take the principle serious. If you want, don't take it serious. What we test you is life. No examiner is coming to come and test you. It's life itself that is testing you. Are you with me? Principles are universal. The people that apply them will get the result. The people that apply them will suffer it. Are you with me? What is taxation? Hallelujah. Sorry about that. Yes, give mommy, give mommy. Go and give mommy. Good girl. Are we here? So taxation is simply the process of collecting or gathering tax. Are you here? Taxation is the process by which the government collects money from individuals and business to fund public service and infrastructure. Taxing generally is the process by which the government collects what? Taxes. This could be levies, this could be tax, property tax, or as much as it could be. This is only applicable when you earn income. Now, this is the notion that we need to correct. It's not just any money that enters your account that will be taxed. It's the income that enters your account that will be taxed. Take, for instance, now, if I send you money, it's not an income, it's a gift. That one will not be taxed. Are you here? But so long as you earn income, so long as that money is coming from services rendered or something you're doing, it will be taxed. How will they know is your BVN? Your BVN, your NIN. And what makes it a bit tricky about taxes, you are the one to go and fight for the tax clearance. So we'll get into that later. You are the one that will go to the government and explain your income or the money that entered your account. This one is gift. This one is income. And if you lie, they will know. Because the money is coming from somewhere. Because the money is coming from somewhere. So you only pay tax if you are earning what? Income. Are you here? Are you here? Taxing is actually good. Taxes are usually good or are good. The problem is this our part of the world. What are the funds used for? That's just the problem we have. Like I said earlier when we started, I said each and every year the country has something we call budget. We call it national budget. So that budget is the country is trying to tell you what we want to do with the revenue that we've generated from the previous year. And you saw the video that taught us or explained how the revenue is shared among the 36 states in the nation, which you saw the fault and you saw how the government or this present administration is trying to correct that particular fault that you had. Are you here? Are you here? So taxes, what are the importance of taxes? Number one, taxes are used to fund government expenses. It costs money to run the government. Please let me have water. Faye, let me have water, please. So taxes are used to fund what? Government. Taxes are used to fund public services like school, police stations, all these things government do, all these expenses government incur. They are run by taxes. Yeah, for those of us that watch, for those of you that do a lot of American movies, excuse me. For those of us that do a lot of American movies, especially the ones that involve the government, the police doing something, you always hear them emphasize, you are using taxpayers' money. You are using taxpayers' money. It simply means the money, the government had to generate that money. The government had to generate that money from its citizens. Now, there is a principle that governs money or the economy, every economy in the world. There's a principle that governs it. Money, there's a way money is being created. One of the questions I usually ask when I'm teaching about finances or wealth creation and the rest is, why can't the government just print money and give everybody so that we can alleviate poverty? Why? As of yesterday, it was said that Elon Musk is the first human on earth to be worth $500 billion. So if he continues at that pace, by the year 2030, he will be the first trillionaire. That simply means that first trillionaire. So Elon Musk has $500 billion. The population of the world right now is just 7 billion. Or okay, we are officially 8 billion. It simply means that if Elon Musk gives everybody 1 billion, he will still be a billionaire. Are you here? Are you here? If Elon Musk chooses today that he wants to give everybody in the world a $1 billion, he will still be a billionaire in dollars. Why? He is worth 500 billion. We're just 80 billion on earth. So the question, why won't he do it? He can't do it. So why can't the government just print money? Now, the day Elon Musk decides to give everybody $1 billion on earth, it will cause something called inflation. Why? You have too much money in circulation. So it tells you that there is something wrong with the economy system of the world that we're operating. Remember, scripture says in the days of Solomon, silver had no value because gold was common. It tells you that lack is artificial. It tells you that scarcity is artificial. Why? Because of the economy system which we run in the world. So ask yourself, why can't the government just print a billionaire or a millionaire and give everybody so that we can alleviate poverty? The government cannot do it. Why? There is a principle that governs the creation of money. Money is created by debt. So long as you have this physical thing you call money, there will be debt. If Jesus come, till Jesus come, Tinubu will keep borrowing. As I'm talking to you, the most indebted nation in the world is America. Their debt is in trillions. Why? It's the economy system of the world. That's the monetary system of the world. That's how it's designed. Are you here? Are you here? So this is how the system has been designed to run. So when it comes to generating revenue as a government, you cannot but tax the people. So the problem this part of the world are having is what these resources are used for. We are not seeing what these resources are being used for. That's just what we're complaining about. Are you here? Taxes are used to control inflation. We're talking about importance of taxes now. They are used to control inflation. What is inflation? Inflation simply means when there's too much money in the society. You and I know that value is tied to scarcity. Hope you are aware. Value is tied to scarcity. The reason why sand doesn't have value is you can find sand anywhere. But there is a type of sand that is expensive. They are not all the same. There's a particular type that's expensive. What's making it expensive is value. So if there is too much money in the economy or in circulation, there is usually what we call inflation. Presently, right now, in our economy, the inflation rate is by 6%. What does that mean? It simply means that the value of 100 naira, is 6%. Sorry, 6%. It simply means that what 600 naira could buy before, you can buy it with 1,000 naira. What 60 naira could buy before, you buy it for 100 naira. Are you here? So taxes help reduce control inflation. Why? Because so long as the government is not printing money, there will be value. There won't be inflation. But so long as the government keep printing money, there will be inflation, which is what happened to us during the cashless policy, or when they were trying to change the naira, some of our naira notes. The central bank government and that particular government, the central bank and that particular administration printed over 3 trillion of that particular currency they were trying to change, which was 1,000 naira, 500 naira, and 200 naira. So it now tells you how wasteful we are as a nation. We have 3 currencies or 3 denominations that have 2 types in our country. We have 2 types of 200 naira. We have 2 types of 500 naira. We have 2 types of 1,000 naira. That's waste. Till today, the country has not recovered from that mistake. Are you here? Are you here? Are you here? Now, taxes also stabilize the economy. Now, there is nothing new under the sun. The origin of taxes was gotten from the Bible. The Bible says that there was a time in Egypt where money failed, where money didn't work. There was famine. Things were so difficult that people were selling themselves just to eat. So they went to go and meet Joseph. Say, oh, Joseph, they would take their cattle, their land. They were giving Joseph lands for food. So it got to a point, Joseph now told them, it got to a point, they now met Joseph and said, don't give us food this time. Give us food and also give us seeds so that we'll not come again. So that we will not do what? Will not come again. Are you here? So when Joseph gave them the seeds this time, he told them, when you harvest, when it's time for harvest, don't eat everything. Out of what you've harvested, keep a portion for Pharaoh. Keep a portion for seed so that you plant next planting season. So that you plant next what? Planting season. Then live on the rest. Are you here? Are you here? That is where the taxing system of the world started from. That's where it started from. Are we together? Type of taxes. Type of taxes. Number 1, personal income tax, PIT. Personal income tax. Personal income tax is the kind of tax that are paid by individual, which is the one that the government is trying to enforce by COM 2026. Which is what the government is trying to establish COM 2026. Personal income tax. This is from 7% to 24% of your income. Sorry. So I say personal income tax is the one that individuals are paying. Everybody, so long as you earn an income, you will have to pay this tax. I say it's from 7 to what? 24%. It's a range. It's not static. You saw how that young man calculated it. Are we here? Then we have company income tax. Company income tax is different from individual tax. This is paid by companies, registered businesses only. And it's a bit higher. Is as much as 30%. Now, personal income taxes, the one that the government is proposing now, you have to pay you have a certain amount that is what we call tax free, that it will not be taxed. So if you earn more than 800,000 naira above in your personal income tax, you'll be taxed. They are given an instance. If your cumulative earning for the year is 1 million naira, that means for in 12 months you earn 200,000 naira every month. 200,000 naira every month by 12 is 1.2 million. Abi? So now 800 inside that 1.2 million will not be taxed. Do you understand the English I'm speaking? So how much will be taxed? 200,000, 200,000. You will be taxed from 400,000. Then there's other deductions that the government, there are other tax advantages or tax incentives that the government give you. Number 1 is your rent. Then 20% of your rent, the government will not tax it. Are you hearing me? Then for company now, this is the major difference which you will teach later. The tax percentage for companies is what? Is 30%. Now, the current law, presently right now, individuals don't pay tax. There's nothing like PIT. Except for civil servants. Civil servants pay tax. But normal petty business people, normal market women, all those taxi drivers, they don't pay tax. Presently. But that will change come 2026. Are you here? So now, I said it's 7%. But for companies, the amount which I will be taxed or my company will be taxed is presently is after 25 million. If my revenue for the entire year is not up to 25 million, the government will not tax me. Why? The company is encouraging me to do business and grow because I'm providing employment to other people. But come 2025, come 2026, that figure will be increased to 50%, 50 million rather. It simply means that If I earn 70 million in a year, the government is not going to tax 50 million. The government is only going to tax what? 20 million. After other incentives that the government are giving me. Number one is rent. Number two, I have to deduct my expenses to run the business. I have to deduct my salary. I have to deduct deduct my running cost of production, cost of running the office, cost of doing all those things. That's why that guy was emphasizing that come 2026, you have to document every penny that leaves your account. You have to. For you to enjoy those tax incentives. Are you here? For you to enjoy those tax incentives. Then we have the next kind of tax is what we call the value added tax, which is called VAT. This one, you pay on all goods and supply. Everything you buy, you will be taxed. It's called VAT. Added to this VAT is what we call, which is what I mentioned last month, the support charge. The support charge is the tax which will be taxed on every 10,000 naira fuel you buy. VAT is just 7.5%. For those of you that have gone to ShopRite, H-Medics, all those sophisticated restaurants, if you buy on your receipt, if you look carefully, there's something called VAT on it. In those days when we used to buy physical recharge card, there was VAT on the recharge, on the airtimes. Are you here? Then we have what we call petroleum profit tax. Those ones are for petroleum companies, oil companies. Then there's something we call withholding tax. Withholding tax. These are the taxes you pay from dividends that you are paid from shares. This is the tax you pay. If I give you a contract now, you are going to pay tax from that money I've given you the contract. It's called withholding tax. Royalties. So all these musicians, all these artists that you are streaming online platforms and the rest, influencers, this is where they will not tax influencers. From your royalties coming from on your online earnings, wherever you are earning the income from. It's called withholding tax. If you are a landlord that people are paying rent to you, they are paying tax through what we call withholding tax. That's the type of tax you're paying. They will now have capital gain tax. Capital gain tax. This is the tax where you pay when you sell or buy when you sell a property. Take for instance, I want to sell this house. After selling the house for 300 million, 10 million, then the government is going to tax on that capital gain. It's 10%. Then there's what we call custom duties. For the people that are into importation. For people that are into importation, when you bring something into the country, so long as it's coming through the seaport, you have to pay custom duties. You have to. So now imagine what a business is going through. After spending money to import my equipment that I'm going to use for business, presently Dangote imported 4,000 trucks. Dangote imported 4,000 what? Trucks. Dangote have to pay custom duties on those 4,000 trucks. Dangote is also paying tax Dangote is also paying company tax. With every other levies and union charges that he's paying to run a factory. Dangote is also paying taxes in the state which his factories are. So when you see, to be an entrepreneur is not child's play. It's not beans. So with all these levies and this taxation, do you think the economy or the government, the country, is designed for you to prosper? That's why I tell people, leaving Nigeria to UK or US or to Jakba is not your solution. Because their major source of revenue is tax. They don't play with it. They are paying heavily. I was talking to my friend. I broke down recently. For some days, I was unable to do anything. Was kept on the bed rest for 3-4 days. Had to do everything. And I asked myself, imagine I was in UK, that I am required to work to be alive. How would I have survived? Or how would my family have coped? Now, the answer to that question is what they have there, what they call social security and medical insurance. We don't have that here. If we have, it's a bit high. Now, there are loopholes for you to harness that. I understand in Nigeria there's something they call NHIS. But before now, it was meant for civil servants alone. It's just now that they've opened it to everybody. So running is not the problem. If you run from Nigeria, you're going to meet it better there. You're going to meet a more sophisticated system. So the difference between their system and our system is the taxes are working. The system is working. So you don't feel pained paying these taxes. Coupled with all these type of taxes that I've told you now, there is something we call toll gate. I made mention of it to people, to you guys last month. From Benue State to Abuja, you have 4 toll gates. For an average car to move from Abuja to Benue is 2,000 naira. Each toll gate is 500 naira. Each truck is 1,000 naira. So imagine the truck bringing yams from Benue into Abuja. First of all, the person has to pay the market levy before leaving the market or where that truck was loaded. Now have to pay each and every toll gate and have to settle each and every police checkpoint on the road. Now still come. The person bringing those yams now will now have to pay tax on income. Do you think the price of yam will still be the same? So when I say brace up for next year, my brother, brace up for next year. Are we together? So what are the consequences of not paying tax? It's a criminal offense for you to evade tax. They will send you to jail. You go prison. You are a Nigerian. You think you are smart. The people running the tax system are also what? Nigerians. They are also smart. So if you think you outsmart them, you are joking. The tax man will come for you. And hope you also know that for any system which there are no consequences for action, that system will be abused. So one of the consequences of evading tax is you will be sent to jail. For most of you that have heard of celebrities going to jail or a footballer going to jail, most of the time, Messi almost went to jail. Ronaldinho almost went to jail. As I'm talking to you around, there's a guy called Robinho. He's in jail. And what's the problem? Taxes. Taxes. And what makes it a bit dicey is that you are not necessarily the one that handle it yourself, just the way you are not the one that represents yourself in court. There are people called tax consultants. They are the one that helps you. First of all, before you tax, we'll get there. Before you pay your taxes, you have to do something we call an audit. They have to audit your account to know that what you are saying is true and what is not true. Like I said, you are the one that will go to the taxman to tell the taxman, 100 million entered my account this year. This 100 million that entered my account, 30 million is not income. They are gifts. So this is income, this is income. So if I am running a business and my income came, I had to run the business. I spent money to run the business, something called running cost. So you tell the taxman, this expenses was for this. This amount was paid for salary. This amount was used to buy a car. This amount was used to buy an equipment. This amount is, and there are certain incentives given to equipment that you buy. It's a period of time. That one is, I'm not a professional tax consultant. These are just basic that I'm teaching you. So when you carry your phone, don't just press your phone. Study. This is a break. This meeting is for business people. Study. Your number, see, oh God in heaven, your number one topic of interest should be money. Number one, be an Igbo man. So far in our country, Igbo are the only people that they say they love money. So you be an Igbo man, love money. Your life is run primarily by the amount of resources you have access to. Money determines how comfortable you live. Money determines the kind of lifestyle you will live. Money even determines how long you will live. After God, the next thing you should pay attention to is money. Everything that concerns money. Taxes, how it is made, how it is managed, how it is multiplied. Taxes, how to fines and penalties attached for delaying in paying your taxes. If you don't pay them at all, they are sending you to jail. If you don't pay them in time, there are penalties and there are fines. Are you here? So how do you handle it? How do you prepare for COM 2025? Number one, I have told you, everybody look up. Everybody look up. The tax bracket, the free tax bracket for an individual is what? Is 800,000. The tax bracket, the free tax rate of a company is what? Is 50 million. What does that tell your intelligent mind? Go and register your business. Why? If I make 10 million naira in my personal account as income, if I'm using my personal account to collect money to do business, if I make 10 million naira, I will be taxed. If I make 5 million, I'll be taxed. If I make 1 million, I'll be taxed. But if I register my company and it is properly recorded, until I make up to 51 million, if I don't make more than 50 million, I will not be taxed. So how do I handle this as a businessman? Number one, register your business. Stop using your personal account for business. Number two, that thing that somebody wants to collect money, you give your account for the money to pass through your account. Stop it. You will be taxed. Especially your business account. Especially your personal account. Why? Right now, you ask the question, how will the government know? Each and every bank has been mandated to report any transaction more than 100 million. If your account hits more than 100 million cumulatively, if it hits the banks are required to inform the government. Now they will now call you to come and explain. This will curb a lot of things. However, you have to be smart. That's why you are coming to places like this. So number one, register your business. Stop using personal account to collect business or to collect income or to collect revenue for your business. Now, all these things, there is a particular form of organizations that are not taxed. They are called NGOs and foundations. This explains the reason why every wealthy man has a foundation. They don't love you. It's financial intelligence. Every wealthy man you know of has a foundation, has an NGO. Why? What is the meaning of NGO? Non-profit organizations. Those ones are not taxed. Why? People have been clamoring. We are talking about tax, so let me teach. People have been clamoring about that churches should be taxed. Churches should be taxed. But the church is not registered as an organization. The church is registered as an NGO. So if you will tax churches, that means you will tax every other NGO. Or you go and change that registration of a church to an NGO. Because the church is not an NGO. It's the body of Christ. So, but the government recognizes the church as what? As an NGO. That's why it cannot be taxed. So if you run a ministry that so far, this is a financial class, so we are cutting across board. So if you run a ministry, listen to me anywhere in the world. If you run a ministry or if you run a church, go and register the church. Go and do the proper documentation of the church. Register it and have a proper account set up for the church. Are you here? Why? The reason why NGOs are not taxed is because the funding of NGO are free will donations. People are the ones giving to them. They are free will donations. So every wealthy man you know of has an NGO or has a foundation. It's not because they love the poor. It's financial literacy, and it is called their social corporate responsibility. How to handle this? Number 2, record all transactions, especially your expenses. Record all transactions. Now, your bank apps are so intelligent and so wise that for every transaction you want to do, there's something they call remark, where you write what that transaction is for. Some of you, I know you have not been using it. I know. So, come 2026, it's better you start now. But come 2026, start recording each and every expenses you make. Why? The government is expecting you to have something we call running cost. It will not tax you for running a business. If it taxes your running cost, it's expecting you not to be in business. And if you are not in business, it will create something we call unemployment. Now, one of the reasons why companies or businesses are giving all this tax incentive is because they create jobs. Dangote imported 4,000 cars, 4,000 trucks. Each truck has 3 staff. The driver, the assistant driver, and the truck, the boy, whoever is on the truck that assists them. That's 3. 3 by 4,000. That's 12,000. So Dangote will employ 12,000 people with just importing 4,000 trucks. So it has created 12,000 jobs. It has saved the government. So it is only wise that government should encourage him to do more, which is what they call tax incentives. Financial literacy is key. You cannot but be financially literate. Are you here? Are you here? So, how do you handle next year? Number 1, learn how to document your money. Learn how do you handle next year? Learn how to document each and every expenses and income that come. I've been teaching this for years. If you haven't, then how do you do this? You can decide to have an expense account. I told you last year. I told you 2 months ago, rather. My OP is my expense account. There is no penny that leaves me that doesn't go through my OP account. It's for a reason. My data, airtimes, everything, I do it through the OP. There's another account separate for receiving the revenue. That is for company. I have personal accounts. Next thing, how do you handle? I say, number 1, register your company. Number 2, label all transaction. Number 3, put yourself on a salary and pay yourself through the company account. Pay yourself through the company account. Don't have the money perpetually to spend. Like I said, these are the basics. There are more tax incentives or loopholes that you can explore as a business person. There are more. But as An employee. Hope you know you pay more in tax as an employee than a business owner. More doesn't mean in the money. More means in the percentage. If Dangote makes 100 million or 1 billion in revenue and he's taxed 100 million or 200 million, as compared to you that make 100,000 and you are taxed 50,000, who is paying more? You are paying more. You are paying half of your money. Him is not paying up to half of his money. Why? There are incentives. Like I said, he's paying salary, he's creating jobs, he's running expenses. The expenses he's running is tied to the running of his business. So the running of his business. Are you here? Are we together? Are we together? Are we together? We're going to pause here for the first session. We're going to take our breakfast. Then we're going to continue after 20 minutes. What happened to the other mic? What happened to the other mic? Take her to mommy. Go and meet mommy. Are we ready? Can we start? Jennifer, you've had your breakfast. You've had your breakfast. You've had your breakfast. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. How was the break? How was the break? Talk to me, talk to me, talk to me. You want more? Okay. You want more? Okay. You want more? Oh, you want more? Eh? Okay, okay. We'll take that into consideration. Are we together? Leadership in business. Leadership and business, rather. Leadership and business. Eh? Leadership and business. In business, there are two important resources that you must pay attention to. They are the lifeline of that business. Number one is capital resources. Number two, human resources. There are two important resources that you must pay attention to when it comes to business. Number one, human resources. Number two, capital resources. Capital resources is the material, money, the capital you use in starting the business or you need to run the business. These are your equipment. These are the raw cash, the cars, the things you use in doing the business, the things you use in doing your manufacturing, the things you use in doing your production. All these things are called capital resources. Then you need the human resources. These are the people that run the business. These are the people that operate the equipment that you have in the organization or in the business or in the factory. These are the people that run the organization effectively. So to have any business, you must have these two resources for any business to work effectively. Now, for you to have a good business or for you to have a successful and a productive business or a profitable business, you must know how to manage these two resources effectively. No business will survive without these two resources that I've mentioned. And in most cases, you either have little or none of these resources at all. So for you to effectively utilize these resources, you need what is called management. You need to know how to manage these resources effectively. You need to know how to manage these people effectively. We have taken our time to establish that any system that is made up of man, there must be conflict. Any system that is made up of man, there must be conflict. So what is wisdom? Wisdom is you knowing how to manage these resources, which is the human resources. So for you to manage these resources effectively, you need to understand the concept of what we call leadership. Everything starts and falls on leadership. If you see a good organization that is profitable, what is making that organization run effectively and smoothly is what we call what? Leadership. Be it a church, be it a business, be it a hospital, be it a factory. If the leadership is not in good terms, or if the leadership is not top notch, the business will struggle. The ministry will struggle. The factory will struggle. The venture will struggle. It's John C. Maxwell that said that everything starts and falls on leadership. If the leadership structure of that environment is not top-notch, the organization will suffer. One of the problems we are facing in our country or this part of the world, which is Africa, is leadership problem. We all know it. There is something fundamentally wrong with a black man. Quote me anywhere. You put somebody in an organization. The person is wrecking that organization. You are siphoning the funds that is meant for the organization. And you think you are smart. You think you are doing well. Forgetting to know that that business was supposed to last a lifetime. That it will also employ your children. But you wrecked the business. Now you thought you are smart. You went to go and start your own. Who told you your own will work or your own will succeed? Scripture says if you are faithful, if you are not faithful in another man's thing, who will give you your own? It's one problem. It's one problem we have in Africa. This my own thing. We would like to build our own, and my own. So when you are giving another person's thing, you don't manage it properly. Hear me and hear me well. In all honesty, not everybody will run a business. Not because it's a cost, but some of you or some of us lack the patience to even do a business. We lack the tenacity to even do business. Therefore, we cannot but work. You cannot but work. Now, the system which you find yourself that is providing that daily bread, you are wrecking the business. You are stealing from the business. If they ask you, say, now where man they work in the shop, that's why they call it workshop. Are you hearing me? So if there's any companies traveling anywhere, if there's any business doing well anywhere, go check. There is something working it. It's called the leadership of that business. Are you here? Leadership is the concept that can be used to manage both capital and human resources effectively. Leadership is the concept that can be used to manage both human and capital resources effectively. Leadership determines the level of the effectiveness in any business. There is a level to which you can go doing a business as a one-man business. Doing business as just you. It's my own thing. In business studies, we call it one-man business. There's a limit to which you can get to that. And one of the things we face in Africa is most businesses don't move from one generation to another. They fail, they end, or the business collapse with the founders of that business. So you can choose to pay attention, or you can choose not to pay attention. But one of the things that have made me very passionate about business is it's only business that I can leave to my children. I can't leave my certificate to my children. None of my children can use my certificate. The day you die in your workplace, you'll be replaced by another person, not your child. You can't hand over your position to your child. You can't hand over your qualifications to your children. You can't do that. The only thing you can move from one generation to another is business. And you have to do it carefully. So if you don't manage it effectively, if you don't manage it properly, you will pay for it. So it's not a thing of, I'm not good at business. It's not a thing of, I'm not a business person. It's about posterity. It's about posterity. It's about posterity. Are you here? Are you here? Leadership sets the standard in any organization. Leadership sets the standard in any organization. Anything, you cannot just do things anyhow. Are you here? Leadership sets the standard. It is leadership that sets the structure. Okay, this is how things are done here. This is how we will do things here. This is why we do things this way in this place. Anything is not allowed. Anything is not accepted. I've said this over and over again. Any system where there are no consequences for action, people will misbehave. People will abuse the system, which is the problem we are facing in this part of the world. Anything goes. How can you wake up and come online and say snake swallowed money and you went scot-free? Nothing happened to you. Nothing happened to you. There is something we call the elastic limit or tension in physics. Every rubber has elastic limit. If you draw it, it goes back. If you draw it, it goes back. If you exceed that tension, that elastic limit, the rubber will break. Every system you find yourself, if you don't take the system, or if there are no structures in that system, or a leadership structure in that system to effectively manage it, the system will collapse. It will reach its breaking point. Nigeria is close like this. You are aware of what happened in Nepal, where the Gen Z guys took over the internet. Took over the streets and scattered the country, burnt the country down. It's one simple mistake the leaders made. People are complaining that they are suffering. They think that is giving them solace. People have made ways, or people have generated ways, or people have devised ways of generating revenue for themselves via social media, via the internet. Abi? People are using it to come. You woke up and banned it. The person that did that thing is not in the country. He has left. He ran and left the country. There is a breaking point to everything. You came to a country as a nation. You made a statement that is people are suffering because of the statement you made on your day of inauguration. Instead of you to make the same statement and undo the thing, you are trying to give us incentives to make it look as though you are trying to solve the problem. You're not solving it. You caused the problem in the first place. Nigeria is like this. It's at the brink of that thing. Every system has a breaking point. That's all I'm trying to say. Every human being has a breaking point. No matter how calm the person collected the person is, if you break the person to a certain level, the person will revolt. It's a law in philosophy. So if your business is everything goes in your business, it's a matter of time. It's a ticking time bomb. Everybody behave they want to behave. Everybody does things the way they do those things. It's a matter of time. Are you here? Are you here? The higher the leadership standard in any organization, the more effective or productive or profitable that business will be. Leadership is a key factor. That's why top-notch companies organize leadership meetings, leadership trainings for their top managers. And at the bottom level of the corporate ladder, they also organize leadership trainings for them. Because in every organization, you have heads of departments. True of us. In every organization, you have departments. And those departments need to have people that head them. And those people that head those departments are the leaders. If the leaders don't have sense, the organization will be senseless. If the leaders don't have direction, the organization will be directionless. Are you here? So when it comes to leadership, there are so many types and dimensions of leadership. But I usually start with one. It's called self-leadership. The Dangote you are seeing today is not the Dangote of 30 years ago. He has built the business. Whether he came from a wealthy background, whether he has certain advantages, it doesn't matter. The point is, he has built. Whether he was helped, no problem. The point is, he has built. The Dangote of 2025 is not the Dangote of 2020. Neither is it of the Dangote of 1998 or 1985. He has grown. He has evolved. The reason why he was able to do that is because him as a person has certain qualities that made him to be able to lead the Dangote group to the point where he is right now today. There's a guy called Tony Elumelu. The man is close to 60, or he's in his late 60s or early 60s, but he's 60 thereabout. But he looks younger than most 30 years old. It's not by mistake. That habit, that level of leadership and discipline that he has so evolved him that is translated to his wife. They do aerobics together. They work out together. Now, when you see a man like that, what do you think is his vision? Number one, wealth is his vision. Number two, he wants to live long. No matter how wealthy you are, there's a certain level of lifestyle you need to have to live long. People are dying of obesity. People are dying of what? Obesity. They can't control their appetite. They eat everything. They eat anything. So the wealth can also be a problem. In this part of the world, so long as you started having resources, it now make you look as though certain things are a crime for you to do. Number one, exercise. Not knowing that your health is directly proportional to how your exercise and your lifestyle. Self-leadership. Are you here? Your greatest ally and your greatest enemy is you. Most visions, desires and goals you had for yourself didn't come to fruition because of you, nobody else. You are your own problem. You are your greatest asset. At the same time, you are your greatest enemy. The devil cannot stop you if he doesn't walk through your will to stop you. Nobody can stop you if the person doesn't walk through your will to stop you. You can't tell the limit to which a man that has made up his mind to be successful can go. All he needs is to make up his mind. No force on earth is powerful to stop you until you permit the force. You make plans, you don't follow them through. You set goals, you don't achieve them. You propose certain things in your life that you do, yet you don't do them. There is nobody here that doesn't know the importance of investing. You don't invest. There's nobody here that doesn't know the importance of savings. You don't save. There's nobody here that doesn't know the importance of prayer. You don't pray. There's nobody here that doesn't know the importance of knowledge. You don't read. Yet you know. And you know you ought to do them, but you don't do them. So is the devil your problem at that point? Are your village people your problem at that point? Is the government your problem at that point? Your problem is you. Your problem is you. Most of us know exactly what to do. We don't do them. You have discussed a million ideas. Somehow, you have not gotten yourself to start one. You know how important exercise is but you don't do them. You know exactly what to do to get the desired result which you want. You don't do it. You spend a lot on data. But if we take statistics of what you do with the data, even you will be ashamed of yourself. If we are to sit now and take statistics, that what have you done with data from Monday till Friday, which was yesterday, you'll be amazed. You'll be amazed. An average poor man chooses entertainment over education. Go and check. While an average successful person chooses education over entertainment any time of the day. Any time of the day. Every video I played for you today, I saw them on TikTok. TikTok has so gotten used to my algorithm that when I carry my phone, that is not my phone, I enter TikTok. Just give me 2-3 seconds, I will know. Why? There are feeds that they feed me. TikTok so knows the thing you like that they feed you those algorithms. You know every dance challenge. You know every challenge they are doing online. You know everything. You know everybody in BB Niger's house. You know the 24 players in each and every football club in Europe. You know their names. Down to how much they are being paid. You know down to their history. You know everything. But the things that are important to your life, you don't know. You see, you find it boring. Let's take statistics right now. Since this year began, we're in October, right? The 10th month of the year. We're in October. So we have just 2 months, the year will end, November and December. Abi, how many times have you taken out your phone and typed money on Google? How, or the study, or anything concerning money? How many times have you done it? But how many times have you wasted data? You download movies, you watch, you know the latest movie, you know the budget that was sent for the movie, you know everybody, the actors and the actresses in the movie, you know them by name, you know them down to everything, down to their families and history. You know. But the one thing, if you will succeed in life, is 100% your responsibility. Nobody's coming to save you from anywhere. Self-leadership. Self-leadership. Do you have the ability to lead yourself to that desired goal of yours? If they leave you to yourself now, will you make productive use of your life? If they leave you to yourself now, will you be able to break the back of poverty? If they leave you to yourself now, will you be able to build that business to that desired level? You need supervision for everything. If they leave you to yourself, what then is self-leadership? Self-leadership is the ability to influence and direct your own actions to successfully reach the goal which you have set. January is coming, which is the time which everybody has New Year resolution. I will achieve this year. I will do this year. The following week, they forget everything they've written down. Self-leadership. Self-leadership is managing yourself and aligning your actions and choices and decisions together to reach your desired goals. To run a business, to run an organization, to run a company, the first person you will lead is yourself. The first person you will lead is yourself. You propose things and you don't do them. You set alarm. You are the one that set the alarm with your hand. When it's time, you snooze it 10 times before morning. You tell yourself, you give yourself 101 reasons why you can't achieve a thing or why you can't do a thing. As in, self-leadership is managing yourself and aligning your actions and choices together to achieve your desired goal or result. The only set of people that will pamper you are your parents. The only set of people that will pamper you are your parents. Life is not playing with you. Life is not smiling with you. When it comes to business, there are people. There are people eyeing that business of yours. There are people that want that position of yours. And do you know the amazing thing? Some are willing to go any length, including killing you, to take your place in life. So therefore, if you think every other person will pamper you the way your parents or your loved ones are pampering you, you are joking. Hope you are aware Steve Jobs was sacked from his own company, Apple. Hope you are aware. Leadership is important. Dimensions of leadership. Dimensions of self-leadership. Number one is what we call self-management. Self-management is setting order or a system around your life. Self-management is knowing the price required to attain your goal. Dimensions of self-leadership. Number one is self-management. Number two is self-discipline. As a self-management is setting order around your life. Hallelujah. Self. Are we together? Everything is okay. Self-management is setting order around your life. Managing your life. The management, the things you've set around your life, the systems you set around your life to manage you effectively. Are we here? You can't find me everywhere. There are certain places you can't find me. There are certain places you will find me at certain times. Are you here? So self-discipline is enabling you to attain the order which you have placed in your life. Your willingness to pay the price to attain your desired goal. This is my goal. I want to be the best person. I want to be the... Recently, we just did something for someone. The person wanted to set a record. What's the record? Ngozi? 72 hours interview. Okay. 72 hours. We're trying to help the person attain it. Before that day, we had plans. We had meetings. We discussed. We handled the media. We discussed. We proposed the process, how to do it. The logistics and everything, the person should handle it. But for him to get that result, he had to sit down. First of all, that thing you saw him sit for 72 hours. He sat, stood, turned, did everything just to stay there for 72 hours. You know how displeasing and discomforting that was. Yet, it's a goal he has set for himself. It's a goal he has set for himself. So for him to achieve, he has to go through the pain. We are in a generation where we want everything for nothing. As a business person, it is not all the money that is with you that is meant to be spent. I took out time to explain this last month. The fact that you see 100 million in my account doesn't mean I should buy a car now. One of the things you need as business people, as a businessman, is this thing we call self-discipline and delayed gratification. Delayed gratification. All monies are not meant to be spent. You have to lead yourself effectively. You give yourself an annoying and stupid philosophy. Money is meant to be spent. The little change that come, you blow it. Now who they are alive, they solve problem. You blow it. Problem, I cannot come and keep myself. Problem, no, they finish. You blow the money. 1,000 times no. Are you here? Self-discipline is your willingness to pay the price to attain that desired goal. If financial freedom is what you want, if financial freedom is what you need, you cannot chase latest iPhone each time. You can't change the latest dress each time. If that is your goal, you have to have certain levels of discipline, self-discipline. It is not everything you want you go for at all times. Are you here? I have been shouting since the class began. These new coming tax now, you have to document every penny that leaves you. As simple as that documenting is, we don't document our income. We don't document it. It starts there. Financial freedom starts there. Wealth creation starts there. Your ability to track your income. Your ability to track your income. Before this year, last year I used to record everything. So we have to be systematic and the rest. So my system of recording all my expenses is my OP. Like I've said ever. Meet me of the expenses I made 2 years ago. I'll show you. The book is there. The records are there. I made it. Why? Hope you know that as a business person, for anybody to give you loan, you have to show them your cash flow. For anybody to give you loan, you have to show them your cash flow and your expenditure. Why? So that the person with your cash flow, the person can be able to tell whether you can be able to pay back the amount of money they are loaning you or not. Discipline. Are you here? Self-leadership skills. Self-discipline skills. Are we here? Number one is understanding your self-discipline skill. Or self-leadership skills rather. Number one, understand yourself. Understand yourself. It simply means know who you are. Know yourself. Know what you want. Know why you want it. Why have you chosen the path of being a business person? Or why have you chosen the path of a business owner or an entrepreneur? Why haven't you chosen the path of an employee? Or now that I want financial freedom, but I am necessarily an employee, I am an administrator, I function better, or I am better or are good at working. I cannot run a business, but at the same time, I want financial freedom. How do I navigate it? What am I supposed to do? If I'm to go into partnership with somebody, how am I going to go about it? If I go into a partnership, how do I relate with people, or how do I relate with my partner? You have to know it. Know yourself, know what you want, and know why you want it. The why will keep you going when things get difficult. The why will keep you going when things become difficult. Every business person has tough time. Dangote is having one now. There's a reason why I've been emphasizing Dangote. He's the richest black man, and he's in Nigeria. It's only wise that I study what he's doing, because I'm a business person. Now, let me now say this. If you're a Christian, and because Dangote is not a Christian, you can't have him as a business mentor, you are wrong. Your mentor is not perfect in everything. Your mentor is perfect in a particular field, which you have decided to follow in respect to that field. So if you're a Christian, have your spiritual mentors. But also remember, most pastors are not good with business, because most pastors are more of administrators. They are not good with business. So if you want to use the principles your pastor is using to run a church, to run a business, you might fail. Chances are you will fail. So it's only wise that you should have a business mentor, you should have a finance mentor, you should have a spiritual mentor, you should have a marriage mentor, like that. The only thing that the scripture says you have that is one father. One spiritual father. You can have many instructors. So it's only wise that since I'm part of a system that the richest black man is part of, I have to study what he's doing. Have you noticed Dangote does not have any open investment that we know of outside Nigeria or outside Africa? Hope you know. Meanwhile, we Africans are running to Europe. The man can stay any part of the world, but he is here. Tony Elumelu travels virtually every weekend, every other week, 3 of us. He comes back here. Ask yourself one simple question. Why are they wealthy? These people that really have money in this country, why haven't they leave Nigeria to go and stay in another part of the world? They are here. Every big man of God you know of, that their churches are in Nigeria. They don't live outside Nigeria. Every. Every. Ask yourself why. I know 90% will tell you it's God that said their base is Nigeria, those should stay in Nigeria. I know. But the question is, why do they have a common denominator? Every wealthy person doesn't stay outside Nigeria. The Kubana chief priest, as loud as he is about spending money, big money, and everything, he doesn't live outside Nigeria. They only go for vacation and come back. They only go for vacation and come back. Why do you think it's so? There's a guy called Clifford Dollar. When he came to Nigeria, and Bishop Oyedepo took him to Canaan land. Canaan land is a city. I might be wrong, but it's as big as a local government. I might be wrong, but it's big. That's what I'm trying to say. The man couldn't believe it. He asked Bishop Oyedepo one question. How have you been able to do such a thing? Do you know what it means to own such a property outside in America? Do you know what Tyler Perry went through to build the studio he has built in America right now? Do you know what, what's his name? Kenneth Hagin, sorry, Kenneth Copeland. Do you know the financial capacity he needs to have what he has in Texas? They don't live outside their nations. They live in their nations. Every wealthy man lives in his nation. They don't live outside. It's for a reason. You have to find out why. Are you here? Self-leadership skills. You have to understand yourself. I like working. I cannot run a business. However, financial freedom is my target. And I've been told that so long as I want to be financially free, so long as I want to build wealth, I cannot but have something to do with business. So how do I go about it? Who do I go into partnership with? Who do I go into business with? What am I supposed to be doing? I said this last month, and I'll say it again. By now, you should know that just having money doesn't mean your business will prosper. It doesn't mean it will prosper. It doesn't mean it will prosper 1,000 times, no. Dangote fascinates me. The guy gives me joy. When he was being interviewed before this refinery got to this stage, he could tell you every equipment he needed for the refinery. He could tell you everything. Dangote didn't just go and start a refinery and give people to manage. He is practically involved in it. He might not be involved in the day-to-day running. He might not be the one refining the crude, but he is in the process. He is part of the business. You want to carry money and give somebody to go and manage the business, pray, and be giving you the money in the name of partner. It's possible. However, you do that at a certain level of investment. But at your level now, you cannot afford. You don't even have 10 million to give someone. With your 1 million, you just want to give somebody money without knowing that business you are putting money inside. Why do you want what you want? If your why is not strong, you will give up anytime. Number 2, decision making. One of the classes in one of the months, we take our time to discuss this in details. I'll just refer to it a bit. Decision making. Your ability to make sound decisions tells me how well self-led you are. If you are bad at making decisions, you are most likely to lead yourself in the wrong direction. There's a guy in the Bible called Lot. He never had God for himself, so long as we know. But the Bible says he prospered because he followed his brother Abraham, his uncle Abraham. And the day he was given the chance to make a choice, he chose wrongly. The day he was given an opportunity to choose, he chose wrongly. He chose Sodom. Was having issues with his uncle, and the uncle said, "We are brethren, we cannot be fighting over wealth. You followed me, God has blessed us both. Choose your portion." He looked, he chose the greener path. That is why the Bible says, if you choose with a seeing eye and a hearing ear, my Lord Jesus Christ, you're going to choose wrongly. You will choose Leah instead of Rachel. Your ability to make sound decision makes me know that you are self-led. How do I know that the guy lacked wisdom? You have followed your uncle for years. You prospered, true or false. And your uncle gave you a chance to choose. What will you do? Uncle, please help me choose. Simple. This leads me to talk about the people that are going through apprenticeship. People that are serving. Serving at a point, or the directions given to you by your boss at a point might not be sweet, but it is to your best interest that you follow his leading. It is in your best interest to follow his leading. Now, this now leads me to address, let's leave it at business. Your boss gives an instruction. He has gone years ahead of you in that field. It is only wise that you calm down, and learn or listen or follow the instructions given you. One of the ways I know that you make good or sound decision is the ability for you to follow counsel. Most people come to you seeking counsel with a preconceived decision. The counsel they came to seek from you is only just to validate what they have decided to do. And if it's not in line with what they have decided to do, they will leave your counsel. And they will heed what they want to do. And most times, 90% of the time, it comes back backfiring. Why? That person have gone ahead. Decision making. Do you have the ability to make the right and the wrong decision? We make decisions every day as business people. Every day as business people, you make decisions. Are we here? Are we here? Accountability. One of the things that makes decision making a bit difficult. One of the things that make decision making a bit difficult is every decision and choice you ever make will be based on the information you have at the time of making that decision. What the tricky part is, the information you have at the time might be wrong. Therefore, it is very expedient that you seek for what I call divine direction. Divine direction. Let me say it again. Every decision you make them based on the information you had at the time of making the decision. And what makes it tricky is that the information you have at the time might be wrong. Therefore, making divine direction is very important. You can't overemphasize divine direction. This is very typical with women. A man or a guy approaches you and you judge him based on the state he approached you at that time. You can't tell the next 10 years. You can't tell the next 5 years. You can't even tell the next 1 year. Same with a man. You are choosing a wife. You are choosing that wife based on the information you have about that woman at the time you are making the decision. You can't tell the next 5-10 years. Same with a business. The business you want to start, at that time, you are making the decision based on the information you have at the time of making that decision. Take, for instance, you decided, I want to start keke business, tricycle businesses in town. The day you bought the business, the next day they banned tricycles in town. Who made the decision? You made the decision. Now you are either forced to move those tricycles to the settlements where it is allowed to be there, or you sell the tricycles at a loss. Are you here? Are you here? Accountability. Self-leadership requires you to hold yourself accountable to yourself. You said you will do this, and you don't do it. You said you achieve this, and you don't achieve this. Self-leadership requires you to hold yourself accountable. That means admitting mistakes, acknowledging your shortcomings, and taking full responsibility for your life and action. I've said this before. I'm saying it again. Nobody, your success is not tied to anybody. Nobody's coming to come and rescue you. Whether you succeed or whether you fail is 100% you or your doing. We're in a time where we like blaming every other person for our problems except ourselves. You were giving money to start a business. You used it to buy a phone. You were giving money to do something. You used it to do something else. And you want to blame someone else for your actions. Being accountable simply means your ability to do things with little or no supervision. Can you do the things that you've set out to do? In a meeting like this, how many of you can live without your phones? Keep out the phones and pay attention to you. Keep out the phones and engage in some mental works. Some of you, your breakthrough, some people, their breakthroughs is their phones. They are using it to create content. They are using it to do everything. Their offices are the phones and stuff. That man is crying today that AFCC has refused to give him back his phone. It contains a lot of documents. Meanwhile, your own problem is that same phone in your hand. Because when you wake up, that's the first thing in your hand. Till you close your eyes, that's the second. The only time that phone breathes is either when there is no data or when it's off, when the battery is low. And as a matter of fact, right now we are looking for phones that charges fast, or we are looking for chargers that charges fast. In the next 30 minutes, the phone should be full, so that you can continue pressing. I have a boss. He has one problem, or I noticed one problem when I started working with him. If we go to a place which you have not been to before, if you want, give him 10 million to take you back, he cannot take you back. That's both of you went to that place. You now come back. You now come and meet him tomorrow that he should take you to that place again. Give him 10 million, he'll not be able to take you back. I wondered, so most of the times, he will either call me, bring Safa, that place where we'll go. Okay, go like this, go like this. I was now wondering, why is it that you cannot go back to the same place you go, except you have gone there over and over again? Guess what? Whenever they are driving, he obviously is not the one driving, it's the driver driving. So whenever they are doing there, guess what he's doing? It's on his phone. From the beginning of the trip to the end of the trip. So I now told him one day, do you know why you cannot find your way going back to wherever you go to? He said, no. I said, you're always on your phone. You're always on your phone. The most difficult thing that you can pay, the most expensive price anybody can pay for anything now is called attention. Our attention span is very, very little. Touch that young man. Our attention span is very, very little. There are organizations that you submit your phones while working. You don't pick them. You don't touch your phone. If there's an emergency, whosoever needs to die, let the person die. Whoever wants to die, let the person die. When you have access to your phone, you return the call. There is nothing you can do about it. Now you say you want work. If you are going for an event that the president is there, consider your phone useless. The network will be jammed. Nobody can, you can't do anything. I was in a top managerial meeting with Huawei. With Nigeria we call it Hawaii. But it's not Hawaii, it's Huawei. The proper pronunciation is Huawei. I was in a meeting with the top management. I was supposed to cover the event. From the beginning of that event lasted for 5 hours. From the beginning to the end, nobody touched their phones. They only touched they answered calls, no doubt. They answered calls. They went outside, answered the calls, came back, and the phones were always covered. They are the ones that are manufacturing the phones. They know the effect of the phones. I touched the person I was with. Now only 2 of us, they phones. Let me be sincere. I was in his phone. Every other person was not his phone. So me too, I covered mine. And I asked him, he said nobody did touch phone here for the past 2 hours. He looked around. He now dropped it. So I deliberately observed. They answered calls, but they never touched their phones. The phones were covered. It's discipline. Do you know the annoying thing with the phone thing? You are not doing anything serious with the phone. No? You are just scrolling. If it's comedy, you laugh. It is dance step, you enjoy. You're not doing anything productive. That's the annoying part. Now, I said there are people that are making money with it. The forex guys that are monitoring their trades and the rest, it is explainable. That is their office, that's their work. However, that is not yours. That is not yours. It's one thing. Have you noticed inventions have reduced in our time? Have you noticed? Inventions have reduced in our time. Now that we have discovered Guinness World Record, everybody wants to break the record. Everybody wants to break it. But say you now involve in constructive thinking and events, it has reduced in our time. Why? Because we are distracted. You are in a time where I will pay Netflix for subscription. Abi? I will still use my data to watch it. How make it make sense? Yet, you will be amazed the number of subscription subscribers Netflix has, Prime has, HBO has. You'll be amazed. Accountability. One of the most expensive resources on earth is called time. Do you know why? The time that is spent will never be bought back. Is one of the attributes of God that makes him God. He lives in eternity, he doesn't live in time. And is one of the resources we abuse, especially or especially the masses or the poor people. There was a time recently I discovered that it was difficult for me to finish a movie. Difficult. It's difficult. When I come back, it's one of the ways I use to relax. So whenever I want to do it, to use it to relax, I sleep off. Why? I am tired from work. But you discover that you wake up, you invest 24 hours in every seasonal movie you are going through. Is a time you will never get back. You will never get back. It's one of the things that makes media very, very important. If this meeting is not recorded, there is no way you remember everything I've said. It's one of the things that make media important. It's one of the things that I tell clients. You spend millions on the decoration that will be torn down immediately after the event. You spend millions on your dress. You spend money on your makeup. You spend money on food. That makeup will be washed that evening. You spend money on food. Everybody that ate will then go to use the toilet that evening. The only thing that will preserve that wedding, the only thing that will preserve that naming ceremony, the only thing that will preserve that event, the only thing that will preserve that conference is the media materials that are taken or that were used to cover the event, which is your video and your photography. That's the only thing that will guarantee the prosperity of that event. Yet, that is the one you don't plan for. We didn't have budget for media. No problem. Go and use your phones. But the only thing that will give you a reference point 10, 5, 6, 7 years from now to that material, to that event, is that media material. Either video or photography or images. One of the things we are doing for our daughter is to preserve her growth process via the videos we're doing for her. She's just 2. The other day I was looking at the video when she was a month old. I was like, this girl is growing. That's the only way we can preserve it. Time is the only thing that if you spend, you can't get it back. Yet we use it anyhow. You wake up, my phone has a timer. Thank God for iPhones that has screen time that tells you how long you spend on screen and the rest. My TikTok is programmed. After 1 hour, 30 minutes, it locks. So it's left for me to stick to my own principles and structures I've kept with myself to either unlock it and continue or to stop and do anything productive. Accountability. Your ability to do the things you need to do with little or no supervision. You've said you will do this, but you don't do it. Register that company. You have been procrastinating. You have been start that business idea. You have been procrastinating. I will do it. I will do it. I will do it. Are you here? Are you here? Self-regulation. Self-leadership skills. We say understanding yourself. We talked about decision making, accountability. Accountability and self-regulation. Self-regulations are the limitations or the things, the boundaries you put around yourself. This is the control you have over yourself, the boundaries you put over yourself. Two most powerful forces on earth that controls any man. If you master these two forces, you can master yourself. Number one is what we call appetite, your desires. Number two is emotions. Two most powerful forces that control humans on earth are, number one, your appetite. Number two, your emotions. There are certain decisions or there are certain actions you should not take them based on emotions, but you take them based on the information and knowledge you have about the situation. Control your appetite. As an entrepreneur, there is something we call delayed gratification. It is not if I am to eat shawarma or pizza every time I want to eat it, there's going to be a problem. If I am to take vacation, go for the vacation every year or every 3 months, there's going to be a problem. Is vacation good? Yes, vacation is good. Is rest good? Rest is good. But it should be planned for, not all the time. If you are to buy everything that you see and you like, there's going to be a problem. If you are to follow every woman you see and like, there's going to be a problem. If, as a woman, every man that asks you out, you accept, there's going to be a problem. Every society, I don't care whether the West or anywhere in the world, whether America, every society frowns at a promiscuous woman. Every society, including the America. They frown at a promiscuous woman. How do you explain that you divorced your husband and got pregnant for another man? You be left from being a wife to become a baby mama. How does it make sense? Self-control. There are certain things you don't do. There are certain things you shouldn't do. There are certain places you shouldn't be found. Emotions can either make or mar you. Emotions can either make or ruin you. The choice is yours. Why is this important? Is we've said that there are 2 resources you need to manage as a business person. Number 1 is human resource. Number 2 is capital resource. Any system which there are human beings, any system that is made up of human beings, there will be conflict. And if you are to resolve every conflict based on emotions, how you are feeling at the time you are feeling, you're going to have problems. It is advised, you best not address any issue when you are angry. It is best not to address any issue or any problem when you're angry. It is advised. So long as you are part of a system, you will offend people and you in turn will be offended. So if you're in a position of leadership and you are settling a conflict, you have, especially if one of the persons involved has an emotional connection to you, you have to use wisdom to handle it. This is also applicable in the homes. In the homes which you are. The funny thing about leadership is you must lead. Either number 1, as we just told you now, you will lead yourself. Then you will lead the house which you are. either in the capacity of the wife or the husband, you must lead. You must lead. Are you here? Are you here? Self-regulation. The next one, last but not the least, is staying motivated. Staying motivated. The greatest skill any business person can have is staying motivated, especially when business is not going well. One of my favorite Bible scriptures is, and David encouraged himself in the Lord. Do you have the ability to encourage yourself when things are not going well? When all hell are let loose, there are days you wake up, it seems as though the whole world is turned against you. It seems as though you offend the devil. It seems as though today the devil remembered you. Do you have the ability to stay connected, to stay motivated in those days? And there are other days you wake up, it seems as though you bribed God. Everything just worked the way you planned it. Everything just worked perfectly the way you want them to work. Everything is just smooth. All days are not the same. All months are not the same. So as a business person, you have to master the act of self-motivating yourself. My brothers and sisters, life is tough. Business is tough. You have to be tough. Refuse to give up. There's an adage in pidgin language I like. So now who give up, lose. If you like, give up. Are you here? If you have to keep your business doors open every day, you have to be self-motivated. Now, to be self-motivated, you have to answer the question, why? Why am I on the road every time? Why am I doing the things I'm doing? Do you know my own why? Number one, I don't want to struggle and beg in my old age. If you don't have why, let me give you one now. Some of us don't like begging. Where I have to be waiting for my son-in-law to send resources. I have to be waiting for my son or my daughter to send resources when I grow old. So that if they don't send, I am not vengeful. My why, the reason why we push ourselves, I push myself, is I don't want to beg in my old age. And remember, scripture says it is good for a young man to bear his yoke when he is young. So the question now is, in the next 30 years, which I'll just be around 80, 70. Number one, I will not have the strength I have now. But will I have the money to take care of me at that time? Remember, as you grow older, the resources that are required to take care of you also increase. There are certain, no matter how you confess faith and the rest, it is good if it works for you. But there are certain challenges that comes with your health as you grow older. They call it old people's sickness. Will there be resources to take care of you at that time? Or your children will open asusu on your head. This month he is giving, next month he is giving, the other month director is giving. Then they now renew the cycle. I'm not saying children shouldn't take care of their parents. I'm saying don't live your life waiting for your parents to take your children to take care of you. If your children are your retirement plan, you are dreaming. You are joking. The worst, and if you think children are investment, you are also joking. Because the worst kind of investment to do are children. Why? They have a mind of their own. That child is occupied, busy with life. That child is busy with his immediate family problems. Because that child, a family has come out of that child. You are now extended or nuclear. You are not his immediate family. His or her immediate family is his spouse. His or her spouse with their children. You become a burden. So if you see me pushing the way I'm pushing myself, it's not to impress anybody that I've bought a car. It's not to impress anybody that have gotten the latest suit or the latest phone. It's far from it. My motivation and the things that keep me going is I don't want to beg in my old age. I should be able to call my son or my daughter to give him or her 100 million to support their business at that time. Mr. Easy just opened up recently that he borrowed 19 million naira from his uncle when he was 19. Do you know what it means to have a structure around you that you can borrow 19 million naira and he lost the money? Oh. He lost the money. And he didn't tell you that the man had BP and died. He didn't tell you that. That means the man, life moved on. Life continued. So I will now be living my life in such a way that my children will take care of me later on. Stay motivated. The only way you stay motivated is simple. Answer the question why. My brother, if woman is your motivation, let it motivate you. If you want to prepare, let it be your motivation. Whatever it is that is your motivation, let it be your motivation. As a man, let me see it. I'm talking to the global audience. As a man, there is no such thing as unconditional love. The day you stop meeting your responsibility as a father or as a husband, your wife will leave. I'm telling you. If they will stay, if anybody will stay, it's just 5% of the women of the world that will stay. No jokes. Somebody said, take out your leave. That 3 weeks or that whatever time it is you take out the leave. Take the leave out and go back home and pretend as though you have been sacked. You'll see the true colors of your wife. No man is loved unconditionally. The day you start meeting your response, your father will be the one start fighting you. So if a man step up, it's only a woman. One of the ways, the number one way to get into wealth is marrying into wealth. The fastest, statistically proven, the fastest way to break into wealth is marrying into wealth. It's the fastest. How many men have gotten rich like that? Or you think Otedola just wake up one day and give Mr. Easy his daughter? Or you think? It's now that we are knowing to a certain level the guy's wealth. He's a good businessman. I don't need to show my wealth on the social media. He has not been doing it. He made a statement. I love the guy so much. He made a statement. He said, wealth doesn't like noise. So it doesn't make noise. Or you think he just woke up and gave him his daughter? If you're a man, sit up. No woman will love you unconditionally. Hear me and hear me well. Else, that shoemaker will marry Miss Ward. Else. Are you here? Are you here? Sit up. Stay motivated. What is your motivation? Hallelujah. We'll pause here for today. Any questions? Any questions?
Okay, so my question is, you said Americans are the highest
Debt, the most
debt
indebted nation in the world.
nation. I would like to ask, where are they borrowing the money from, and who are the people that are controlling that money? That's one. The second one is, you said concerning the tax that it will be regulated and you'll be the one to go and report to them that this one is under gifting and all. But those ministers are full time. They are not working like pastors that are into full time ministry.
Yes.
I believe what they're always getting is gifts. So how do they pay tax in that area? Yes, sir. That's all.
Number one is, who is America borrowing money from? Bah?
Yeah.
For you to understand that concept, for you to understand for you to get the answer to that question, you need to understand the concept of how money is created. money is created through what we call debt. If there is no debt, there can't be money. I give you an instance now. If I am to give him the first 100 naira or $100, and I said, I am giving him the first $100, or he's giving me the first $100, I will take the $100 and I will pay back the $100 with interest. That $100 I'm paying back, that interest, where will I get it from if I'm getting the only $100 that existed from him? So how is money created? Money is created through what we call treasury bonds. Treasury bonds. It's just a bunch of documents that the government writes something on top and call it treasury bonds. So the banks, the CBN, I'm just using, in America it's called the Federal Reserve. In Nigeria or other countries it's called what? CBN. The CBN now sells treasury bonds to you. Or you bring you buy the treasury bonds from the CBN, and the CBN now gives you cash that has been printed. So you have to pay back that cash with interest. So the problem is coming from that interest, that where it's coming. Because where are we getting the money to pay you back the interest? Because I asked you a question. Why can't the government just wake up and print money and give everybody? They can't just print money. That money that they are printing has to be backed up by something. The first dollar, the first concept of money was not paper money. The first concept of money was precious metals, gold, silver, and the rest. So when the first paper money was made, that first paper money was backed up by what we call gold. It simply means that if I am traveling with gold, 100 pounds of gold to Dubai, to go and buy camels at the time, it will be heavy. Abi? That's one. Number two, I might be robbed. Abi? So now they came up with the concept I will take that gold and go and deposit in a bank, and they will give me something called receipt. That receipt is what they call money. So that receipt, if I now go to Dubai and tender that receipt to a gold reserve, that receipt says I have this value of gold in Nigeria. So whatever transaction I'm doing in Dubai, it is based on that receipt that I have of the gold that is backing up that receipt that was given. That is how money was. That's the concept of money. But however, the problem is, in 1913 or 1990s, I've forgotten the year, but Roosevelt, one of the American governments, took off gold, that gold standard that was backing up dollar. He took it off. So what is making dollar now valuable is because you and I believe that the government has said it is money. There is nothing backing it up. That is why the more money the government prints, the more problem we get into. So answering your question now, America is getting the money from, America is in debt because of the treasury bonds. So their problem is the economy of the world, the world system, the world monetary system. That's why it is faulty. That's why we know it's not from God. Why? The Bible says in the days of Solomon, silver had no value because gold was common. So lack and scarcity is artificial. That's why Elon Musk cannot share his money for everybody. In as much as he can. And he will still be wealthy. But he won't do it. What was the question number 2? So America is indebted to himself, to itself. Then countries like us, Africa and the rest, are indebted to the America, to China, and every other person that wants to borrow, wants to lend them money. Your president woke up and said, the money that they have paid all their loans in one of the, just one, not all. And they should pay attention to politics. Don't take everything they give you. The following week, you took another loan from China. The following week, you took another. Every major construction done in Nigeria, have you noticed, is Chinese companies? Why? China is giving them loans, and they're giving them with a condition. These loans are for structural development and the rest. It is our company that will come and do the... So where is the money going back to? It's going back to China. What's question number 2? Full-time ministers. Now, before now, I thought every money that entered a particular account will be taxed. But like I said, gifts won't be taxed. You have to explain. Now, full-time ministers, the reason why full-time honorariums will be taxed is The honorarium is given to the man in honor of the services he has rendered, in as much as he didn't charge. Take, for instance, I'm the guest minister here. I came, I preached, I blessed you, and you gave me 5 million naira. It's in respect to the services I've rendered, in as much as I didn't charge. Are you getting the point now? The difference between church and the businesses. Church will render services to you and you give free will donation. Abi? In business, now we go tell you the price where you go pay. No, not as the Lord leads you. Are you here? So church is not taxed because it gets its revenue from free will donation. However, the minister that is there it's only in Nigeria that pastors are not paid in most churches. In most churches, not all. The established ministries pay their pastors. So that salary that they are paying their pastors, that's where you'll be taxed from. So if you're a pioneering minister like me, where somebody like Bishop Edo could say he's not on salary, living faith doesn't pay him. However, there are other ways which revenue comes to him, one of which is this givings that they give to him. So these givings, it will be checked. If he went for a ministration where he's ministering, it might be taxed. But say you give him a birthday gift, that one is a gift. Do you understand? No, those are the only two questions, what? Any other question? Any other question? Okay. Are we together? Are we together? When is the next webinar? 1st of November. Is the first is the first Saturday? NJ, don't stop. I want to announce the next date for the next meeting. Okay. What? November 1st. So our next business webinar is what? Is November 1st. When a man starts doing something and he's talking, it seems as though he's shouting. Pay attention to these things we are teaching. There's a reason why we started some months before this tax thing is happening and the Nigeria is changing and the rest. Pay attention to your finances. If you want, I've said it before, if you want, listen. If you want, don't. If you want, continue. But one thing is certain, is the result that is set ahead. The Bible says a fool sees danger and walk right into it. But a wise man sees the danger that is ahead and he takes precaution. And he takes precaution. Pay attention to your financial life. That's one. Number two, pay attention to politics, locally and globally. Pay attention to it. Pay attention to it. Pay attention to it. In the bid to be criticized or whatever it is, I said something privately. I said it is difficult for African nations to do well. Have you noticed all African world nations are not doing well? Most, apart from 3 that have decided to take their own path and they are paying for it. Why? There is a common factor that is making all of them behave alike. I asked the question privately, I asked it privately. Have you noticed during COVID, the palliatives that were given to every politician, nobody shared. Nobody shared until people started breaking into the storehouse to steal the palliative. Question, why did all the politicians, why didn't one person break out and share? But all of them kept it. It's because there is a conspiracy against you to keep you perpetually poor. I've also noticed presently right now, there are certain policies that have been put in place to make businesses not thrive. It is easier to get a loan as a civil servant than as a businessman. It's a conspiracy against you. That guy explained to you, if you own a house, the number of taxes you will pay. It's coming. It's not a matter of prayer point against it. It's preparation. Prepare yourselves. Go and register a business. Not business name. Go and register a limited liability company. Whether you actively have a business or not. Go and register. It's one of the legal ways of reducing your taxes. All income coming to you should come through your business account. All income. Then you develop a salary structure from that business. Go and involve in mental work. Think. Structure next year. If you want, do it. If you want, I'm talking generally, globally. If you want, don't do it. It is you that will know. This is not a school that you need to pass exam on paper. No. If you carry your phone, do something productive. People are making money online. Now, the government is now trying to even tax that online resources. One of them, see, whoever tell you education is a scam, you and the person will live to pay for it. What's the small guy's name? Pella. Woke up one day and called his income online. Called his income on the next day. Lagos state government slammed in a tax of 26 million. And he started shouting, I don't run a business. How am I paying 26 million? You are the one that said it on air. There's a reason why they don't say some things on air. So with all the resources you have, you don't have the wisdom to create a structure around yourself. If they tell you education is scam, you will soon pay for it. As simple as reading and writing is, you will soon pay for it that you can't read. As simple as calculating percentage and everything is, you will soon pay for it. Pay attention to these things. I'm not saying you must necessarily go to school. I'm saying start educating yourself on the things you need to know, not on the things that are unnecessary. How do you slam a tax of 36 million? How? On what basis? What is the criteria? If it's next year, I understand. When the tax, but what is the criteria? And guess what? He has nowhere to run to. He has to pay. Except he sues. But are you not spending money to correct that mistake? Everywhere. Have you ever heard Dangote come out and say his resources, his revenue online? Have you ever heard Elon Musk say his revenue online? A man woke up and bought Twitter out of fun. Out of fun. He's not using it to generate anything. Rather, he's paying people for using the platform. He bought it. Why did he buy it? How can I be the richest man on and I cannot say what I want to say? Let's buy off the Twitter. Same thing happened to Donald Trump. He couldn't buy. He created his own social media. There are certain things you don't say on air. All boils down to financial intelligence. There are some things people around you shouldn't know. Number one, how much you earn. People around you shouldn't know how much you earn. Your parents shouldn't know how much you earn. Your siblings shouldn't know how much you earn. Do you know why? Everybody will tax you in accordance to the amount you earn. If you earn $1 million, everybody is taxing, everybody asks money. He's not expecting you to give him less than 50, 60,000. The day they announce on air that Emmanuel Oji made 100 million, the siblings you don't know will call you. Everybody wants a portion of the national cake. And you come on air and you say it. If you think education is scam, try ignorance. You pay for it. I am saying all this to say that pay attention to finances. Pay attention to, this is a business meeting. It's not church service. The only thing that has the ability to stay in line with you with God in your life is money. Go and learn everything you need to know about wealth creation. How money is made, how money is created, how money can be managed, and how money is multiplied. Go and learn everything about taxes. There are certain tax loopholes in the tax laws that a tax consultant can show you to them, and you will legally, not illegally, you will legally cross the loopholes. These tax laws are made by rich people. So they leave some loopholes there for their rich friends. The day I have access to $1 billion naira, I will never be poor again. I will do one simple thing and I will never ask for bread again. What is that? Take that money and buy what we call treasury bonds. Buy them in installment of 3 months. And that thing generates a revenue of 10 to 20% for you. Every 3 months you get revenue. So what's the 30% of $1 billion? That's 100 million. So imagine in 3 months you have 100 million. And after everything, that money is still your money while you're getting dividends for the rest of your life till you take out the money. And you have $1 billion, the next thing you're thinking is to impress one girl somewhere. That girl that will leave you when that money leaves. Are you here? Are you here? Pay attention to these things. Next meeting is 1st of what? Of November. Same place, same time. The link will be made available for people to register. Thank you so very much. Father, we thank you. We give you all the glory. We exalt your name. Be thou glorified, be thou exalted. Scripture says, more blessed is the doer of the word than the hearer. The grace to do whatsoever we've learned today, it rests on us in the name of Jesus. Father, we thank you. In Jesus' name we pray. Let me see the board.